Here live at the Hennessy Performance League, and yet we're about to go racing at Watkins Glen. This is our second race of the chase here for the Xfinity Series, and yet up in the booth tonight is a very voice-cracked Code Red 2, and of course, joining along beside me, a man who pretty much knows what it takes to win. He is an amazing individual. Please help me welcome in my guest at this time, Mr. Brody. Brody, how's it going, buddy?
It's going good, you know. We get our road course race in the playoffs. We kind of have an idea of who we're gonna see up front because of earlier road course races. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to cast tonight, and you know, whoever wins this race could possibly go on to win the championship. So just keep that in mind whenever you're watching.
Exactly, and of course, joining us later on, whenever he does come back, will be, of course, our guest himself, Mr. Sharp, is going to be joining us. So yeah, let's go ahead and break it down to you guys. So last week we was at Darlington, but I think we heard Sharp's voice. Sharp, you got a copy, bud?
I sure do. Glad to be here for the broadcast.
Alrighty, and of course, like I mentioned before, last week we was at Darlington for the first race of the chase, and it was won by your driver, Brody Killer, after it was a phenomenal race throughout stage one to all the way up to the finish. And talk about how incredible this win was for not only for Killer, but also a great way to start the chase.
Oh, 100%. I couldn't be more proud of Killer, and that is exactly what he needed to do. Coming into the race, he was negative 20. Now he's only 3 behind Riley, the points leader.
And of course, Sharp, we definitely talked about, not only was it a great start for Killer, but you also got to think about other drivers out there. I mean, we saw what happened. We've seen a lot of playoff drivers get involved in some crazy accidents. But the drivers that I saw out there was like Riley, Thomas Soaps. Talk about those guys who could potentially be able to have a really huge impact at Watkins Glen tonight.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, some big performances from those guys. Killers among those. I mean, made up a ton of ground. 3 back. So it's only 4 back. McCard's 5 back. And that's the name that actually sticks out to me. McCard won this race 2 seasons ago, beating me in a very close finish there at the end. So you look at other guys who have some speed on the road courses. There's T-Bird, speed racers among those that are running some very quick laps on these road courses there. I feel like, those 2 guys could be due for a win, but McCard is my guy flying under the radar here, only 5 back of the points lead. And being he's got the win, he's got the experience at Watkins Glen to get it done. He could be a name that potentially throws his hat in the ring for a W tonight.
And of course, don't forget, though, there are no eliminations in the chase. So let's go ahead and go over our standings. So we have a new leader after last week because Speed Racer had a DNF. So it is Riley with the lead. 3 points that is off of Riley. That will be our last week's winner, Killer, in second. With Soaps with 4 points under Riley. McCard with 5 points below. T-Bird with negative 5. Jason Cole minus 15 points. Speed Racer with down 19 points. Always Eric with 31. Third Satsack 41. And rounding out the field which was SS Assassin with 42. So, Brody, I want to talk to you about the guys like Assassin, Sadsack, and Eric. They had a struggling race last week. We've seen that. We've seen Eric pretty much running against a guy that wasn't even in the playoffs. So, I mean, talk about how much of a really huge, not only a win, but maybe a huge advantage they need for this race.
Yeah, especially Eric and Sadsack. Those 2 have been known to have great speed at road courses. So they could definitely turn their chase around with this race, just having a clean, nice run, grabbing every single point that they can manage. And they could be right back up into a championship battle.
And of course, something that we got to talk about is that even though we haven't really got a chance to practice with the guys, Sharp, we talked about this before we went on air, was that both T-Bird and Speed Racer are pretty much the fastest out of the field. I think Speed Racer had the really fastest was a 108, as well as T-Bird. So who do you think out of those 2 would probably have a really huge chance to be able to win tonight?
Oh, that's a toss-up between the two because they have shown throughout the season their strengths on the road courses, but I feel the edge is going to go to T-Bird. I mean, I'm looking at some of these lap times over here that he's been capable of putting down throughout the season. I mean, based off of practice results, he had a 107.9 running practice, so that's about 3/10 faster than what Speed Racer was able to produce on the track, which a 108.2 is definitely not shabby at Watkins Glen in his Xfinity field. But if you're able to hit some 107.9s or even a little bit better than that, depending on what kind of adjustments these guys make, I mean, just that alone is going to put the field on notice that T-Bird is here to compete and to get a win and then potentially some. So I feel like T-Bird is going to have the edge over the playoff field if he's able to minimize mistakes and stay out of trouble.
Now, Brody, you did say that T-Bird hasn't had a win this season, correct?
That is correct. And for all you T-Bird fans, he has just grabbed the pole.
Wow. So, I guess Sharp's magical words
So
pretty
there
much
you go.
said it. I mean, Sharp said it. I mean, T-Bird's definitely the guy that everyone's going to have to keep an eye out for. So, Brody, I'm going to start with you. Let's go ahead and talk about our picks. Who do you think? Who do you have winning tonight?
Oh, that is a really loaded question, but I think I'm gonna go with T-Bird tonight. I think he does score that first victory tonight, and he's definitely gonna be one to watch regardless.
And of course, Sharp. How about you, buddy? I mean, Joe, who do you see winning out there tonight?
I'm gonna go with two picks here. Obviously, sentimental favorite. I would assume, with everybody in mind, T-Bird. He's gonna have my pick as of right now. I mean, pole sitter, obviously showing he's got at least the fastest car in qualifying right now. So we'll have to see how that translates over to race speed. But dark horse pick, as I was mentioning earlier, don't forget about McCard here. I mean, he has won a race at the Glen. He's shown speed here in the past, so he could be a surprise pick here if he's able to get toward the front and maybe make some good race moves toward the end.
And of course, real quick before we do go to green flag here, I do want to let everyone know that same rules as to comply to last night's truck race. No corner cutting, no corner cutting. I mean, all the admins will be keeping their eye out. If they see something, they're going to be calling out the driver. So yet, if you're a driver and you're a part of this, I mean, follow the rules. I mean, don't corner cut. There's some things you can do, but then there's certain things you cannot do. So please be aware of what you're trying to do out there on the racetrack. I know Brody's going to be watching Sherp. I'm assuming you're going to be keeping an eye out on where they're going to be able to handle as far as the racetrack. What is going to be the biggest takeaway here, Brody, especially when it comes to making sure you're following the rules?
Well, there is let's talk about the bus stop, because the bus stop is basically the only place that the admins really care about at this track, and you have to have at least 2 tires on the pavement through the bus stop to not get called on for corner cutting. If you have 4 tires off of the pavement, and that includes rumble strips, that could possibly lead to you being penalized.
All right, and of course, Sharp. I mean, we've seen pretty much after what Brody just said. I mean, I think it's very clear that as a driver, you don't want to get caught, and you have to be keeping an eye on the bus stop, and of course, in many other places here, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's just like any road course in the game. It's very technical. You have a bunch of different places on the track where you can make some time up. But of course, obviously, the biggest thing is the corner cutting there. Being able to keep the car on the curbs, away from the grass. I mean, obviously, there are going to be times where you will clip the grass, as we've got the green light to join here, guys.
Yep.
Keeping it clean, not overdriving these corners and minimizing mistakes. That's how you make time over here. And these guys are able to do that consistently for the entirety of this race. Then it'll be a fun race to watch. If these guys start letting it kind of get away from them and they start making unforced errors, obviously, that's going to cost them potentially on-track penalties or points penalties after the fact if they're not careful with their driving techniques.
Well,
So let's see what happens.
very well said, fans. Grab your popcorn, grab a flaming hot Mountain Dew, and get ready to have some fun because we're already green flag here at Watkins Glen with T-Bird in the lead. And it looks like it's always Eric in second, Speed Racer in third. Or I'm gonna call Speed for this time only the Mayonnaise Man. So get used to that nickname there, boys. Also, it looks like in fourth it's gonna be Killer, but here comes. Let's go ahead and get back into the front as we see Speed Racer trying to be able to make a move. Oh, something happened to T-Bird, and Speed Racer's gonna take the lead.
Yeah, Eric followed him right off track. I mean, trouble for our front row starters early on.
And if you're Speed after what went down, I mean, you already lost, pretty much the points lead, but yet you can be able to get it back by getting yourself a win and getting some much needed points. So far, been very crucial here. As, currently top 5. It has the man himself, Speed Racer. Oh, we see some action in the back with FaZe Electric, and we apologize for the technical difficulties. Somebody was watching TikTok, so I don't know what happened. But so far, top 5, it is Speed, T-Bird, Eric, Killer, and the Soaps, and of course Riley rounding out the top 6. And of course, right now, after what we just saw with T-Bird, Brody, you got to be thinking about how much momentum he needs to be able to get it back, especially after he just lost the lead.
Yeah, he's just got to have a smooth, clean lap right here, find his rhythm. Killer overshoots the bus stop as well. Could possibly be getting a penalty. I don't think he gained any time to it, but that's going to bring Soaps back into the picture.
And Soaps is right behind him, so that is the battle for, I believe, 4th place. Riley's trying to be able to get the battle involved, and he's trying to be able to go on to the outside of the Soaps, and he does. Side by side they go.
That was a beautiful move.
Really beautiful. Side by side, both Riley and Soaps goes. As we see that currently still the top 3 remains the same. Oh, but Killer's having some issues as well as we look on to Riley's hood cam, and Masopes is not letting Riley go by. Masopes is trying to make sure that he won't get past, but unfortunately he does. As we go back to the front, top 3, it is all Chevy. The Mayonnaise Man himself, Speed Racer, T-Bird second, always. Brody, we talked about it. Eric needs those much needed points. So yeah, this is a really good start for him in this race.
I could not agree more. And this front 3 is starting to pull away from the rest of the top 5. And T-Bird is still hunting down his teammate right now. Getting close to whenever we start asking, when does T-Bird make a move? And looks like his move is now.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have enough momentum as we're riding along on the hood cam of T-Bird. And T-Bird has the advantage. Oh, we're under caution? Or is that the end of I guess we're under caution. First time today. Oh, Riley has a lot of damage. What's happening? Is this a manual?
I believe it is a, yeah, I believe it's a manual.
Well, first caution of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know what happened, but, I don't know. The only person I really see with damage was Riley, unless, well, FaZe Electric's got damage. Don't see anything with Assassin. So good. So, yeah. Sharp, what do you think about that stage so far, man? I mean, Speedy Racer already in the lead. But yet T-Bird was trying to build.
Sorry, guys. I've been muted this whole time.
Y'all good.
I'm having technical difficulties over here. For some odd reason I can't join. So, I'm gonna reset the system and see what's going on with this.
Take time, buddy. Definitely do appreciate it. Just, we'll see you here in a few. But Brody, have you seen anyone with a lot of damage other than Riley and FaZe Electric?
Actually, I saw Stadsack with a little bit of damage on his right front. That could be also another person with ball stick at the tail of the field having a whole lot of front end damage. So, Yeah, someone could have spun and could have collected a couple other drivers.
Well, I think the big question is when is everyone going to start coming in? It looks like, I think, is that Killer coming down? Yeah, he is. Killer's the first one coming down, along with Riley, McCard. Uh, I think I see 10 Titan for Life, Assassin, Electric, Ball Stick. Uh, yeah. I think Jason Cole might be in there. Kelvin. So those are the drivers who are currently going to pit road. Meanwhile, looks like it is T-Bird, Mayonnaise Man himself, Mr. Speed Racer, Always Eric, I think Sad Sack, and Masopes are currently staying out.
Oh, and Eric just walled himself
Oh, wow.
under caution.
Oh my gosh.
Huh?
What?
Yeah, no, I saw that too, but he's gonna lose some track position and have a little bit of damage because of that.
Did the man just get himself his own restart button?
Yeah, I know, it looked like when Gran Turismo just pops you right back.
Yeah, speaking of Gran Turismo, I needed to be able to get a chance to start that, but wrong. But hey, speaking of Gran Turismo, don't forget we actually have a race on Monday for Gran Turismo, and apparently I was told that they need a broadcast booth. So I guess once I get everything figured out, that yours truly, Code Red Dude, will be joining in the broadcast booth for Gran Turismo for the first time. So definitely look forward to that. And by the way, if you guys are watching on our YouTube channel, I encourage you guys to like, comment, and subscribe, because coming up next, Brody and Sharp are going to be racing as a part of the Cup Series racing at Watkins Glen. So make sure to stay tuned in for that Cup Series action here at Watkins Glen, following our coverage of the Xfinity Series race.
Well, I cannot find a in-car stream, so we're gonna have to just guess on the laps. I think there's 6 a stage, maybe 6, 5, and 11. I think that's how it goes.
Electric's not streaming?
Nope.
It's such a shame, but hey, the cars are lined back up. We're getting ready to go back to green flag action here at Watkins Glen. Restart back in the air. Oh!
Masopes
Masopes
into
with
T-Bird.
Masopes with a big move.
Oh, and Speed's in the grass through the S's.
I don't know if he pushed Speed right out of the grass, but my gosh, Masopes must be jacked up on Mountain Dew, because he is all over the place.
That was a great restart for the 20. He is out to the lead now.
But look at T-Bird! T-Bird is right there, right behind him. He said, sorry, Masopes, I know you're a former champion, but it's my time to shine.
A little bit of a crossover move now. Masopes still has the dominant line heading into 6.
What can T-Bird do? Still side by side, and oh my gosh. But look at
Speed making it 3.
Speed's gonna take the lead. Oh my god, what a move by Speed Racer.
T-Bird's still on the outside. Masopes is gonna be there for on the inside.
He's gonna have to shove either Speed into T-Bird or something. Oh, but T-Bird needs to watch out for that wall. Oh my.
Speed and T-Bird get away. This could be for the stage. Keep that in mind.
Unfortunately, we're not F1. We're not Gran Turismo. We don't have a lap counter, but yet this is what we got. But the mayonnaise man himself, Speed Racer, is in the lead. But I will tell you this, that was one bold move from Speed. Makes it 3 wide on that last lap.
That was beautiful through the bus stop. I mean, that's exactly what he needed to do to get away from T-Bird.
He's definitely showing it.
Smooth and steady through 6 and 7.
So far, so good. Speed has pretty much been the only driver who has led the most laps here at stage number 1. And unfortunately, Sharp will not be able to get a chance to join us throughout the rest of the race. But it's okay though. I mean, you got yours truly and of course Brody, so yet we are all good from here as far as the booth.
T-Bird made a little bit of ground through the S's. The 2-car battle right here. Again, could be the last lap of the stage.
Oh, someone got really swervy in the back. I didn't know who it was, but it looked like Ballsack
Oh, T-Bird into the back of Speed.
right along the hood cam of T-Bird. This is about to be really interesting.
T-Bird drives it on in there. Not gonna have enough to get to Speed.
So far, Speed has been doing really good. I mean, not focused on his mirror. If anything, he's been holding it steady. And these two are pulling away from the field as Masopes is currently up in third. But right here, that's T-Bird's favorite spots. When it comes to the straightaways, that's where Speed pretty much finds his best.
I think T-Bird's got the S's part of the track figured out right now.
Oh, what happened to T-Bird?
He lost it. Lost it coming up the hill.
That's gonna have to give Speed the stage win.
Now Masopes is able to get close to T-Bird.
The battle for second place here. That's what's looking on. Always Eric, after what happened to him, he's still up in the top 5. But unfortunately, T-Bird will not have enough chance to be able to make it up to Speed as far as the end of the stage.
That'll be the end.
That'll be the end of stage number 1. So pretty much your stage. Oh, boy, Phase Electric right at the start-finish line. But that will do your stage 1. Stage 1 winner goes to the mayonnaise man himself, Speed Racer T-Bird in second, Masopes in third. I think Always Eric in fourth, and I couldn't tell who's right behind him. That would be. I want to make sure. Satsack. So rounding out the top 5, Riley up in 6th. Looks like Picard in 7th. Or not Steph. Jason Cole, my apologies. Either way. Well, look at this. Look who's right behind Masopes and Speed Racer as Sharp joins back up. Green flag back in the air for stage number 2.
Ooh, T-Bird into the back of Jason.
Oh man, this is where things are gonna get really interesting here. Oh, Phase Electric in the grass.
T-Bird right around Jason through the S's.
Sharp, you got a copy, buddy?
I'm here. Got it working for now.
T-Bird's gonna give Satsack the boot out of the way. T-Bird's coming for the lead.
Look at T-Bird. Starts from the back, and now he's already only up in third in just 1 lap. That was impressive.
Where are we right now, guys?
Stage 2.
Stage 2.
Stage 2.
Yep. Stage
Speed.
1 winner with Speed.
Speed almost. I don't know. He was really far off track, but still hangs on to the lead. And we have T-Bird about to make a move on the Soaps.
Oh man.
I tell you what, he closed up a lot of ground there in turn 7. I thought he was going to potentially lift to the inside, but he's being a lot more patient than a lot of other road course races would have been with that kind of run. And then looked like he just about overdrove it going down into turn 1, but was able to do a good job of holding on to it, not run over Masopes. And Speed Racer also doing a great job holding on to that lead.
Soaps got really close to the wall.
Yeah, it looked like he just about tagged it.
So far, it's the Speed Racer who's pretty much won stage number 1 after he made it 3 wide in a beautiful pass to T-Bird and Masobes to be able to get that stage 1 win.
Here comes T-Bird to the inside.
Tried to outbrake him, but Masobes really aggressive on the brakes.
Oh, in the grass!
Oh, grass!
Ooh, that was close.
Riley coming up in 4th spot here.
Sorry about that. They all had to eat dinner, but yeah, Riley looks to be involved with this battle between Masobes and T-Bird. And Speed looks like he's trying to be able to pull away. And if these three battle, then yeah, you know that's going to be in Speed's favor.
I mean, T-Bird all over Masobes in the wall. T-Bird very aggressive and trying to get. Oh, Riley's got some front end damage. A lot of damage to that 7 car.
Very unfortunate for the points leader.
It looks like we could be seeing a new points leader right after this race.
T-Bird finally gets around Masobes because of Masobes making that mistake.
And of course, that's going to be...
that's a lot of ground that T-Bird's going to have to make up here to be able to get back to Speed Racer. Looked like he overdrove turn 1 just a little bit right there. So that's the technicality of this track, is not overdriving the corners, but you also have to be aggressive, getting as much time as possible on these drivers here. You got to be really careful approaching these corners.
Pretty much Speed Racer has been leading most of these laps in this race here at stage number 2 with T-Bird and Masobes currently up in the top 3. We're going to go ahead and go through the rest of the field as we see Killer pretty much right behind Eric and Phase Electric. I think these two can't even get away from each other, especially after what we saw last week at Darlington.
I'll tell you what though, Masobes is really impressing me right now. He is not known for his road course racing, and he is sitting 3rd really comfortably right now. He's doing what he needs to do.
Doesn't care how much damage he has on that right front. What matters is be able to get a chance to have those much needed stage points. And Masobes doing a really good job, even though he hit the wall. He's still working his tail off to be able to try to catch up to both T-Bird and Speed Racer, as we see Sack right behind him, slowly gaining on Masobes for 3rd place.
Yeah, you're right about that. Sadsack is coming for 3rd place. He gets better as the run gets on, whenever the run goes on. He's a guy that kind of depends on rhythm, I feel like.
It's all about the rhythm when it comes to road course racing. Trust me, ask the Cup Series guys. They know.
T-Bird had a slip out of 6.
Oh,
good save. Good save to an extent. He did lose some time, but that could have been a lot worse.
Good call right there, Sharp. I seen T-Bird, but I didn't know if he was going to hit the wall or anything. He's got a little bit of damage on the left front, but he should be okay. And let's get back to the battle for 3rd place as we see Masobes and Sadsack. Sadsack is slowly gaining on Masobes. If Masobes keeps going, I mean, he should be able to pull away, but Sadsack is right there watching this move, trying to be able to gain as much spots as he possibly could, because he's one of those drivers that desperately needs points at this point.
Yeah, those guys, they came in below the cut line a little bit further back, you know, depending on the misfortunes of some of these other drivers, this is an opportunity for them to potentially take advantage of some miscues and be able to place themselves toward the front. Sir Sadsack, definitely one of those guys that's doing that right now, running 4th right now, getting potential stage points. And if he can catch up with that 20 car and get, by Masopes. That's one extra point.
And you're very right there, Sharp. Very right. So, for anyone that just now joined us, let's go ahead and give you our little race recap. So far, Speed Racer has led the most laps here. Our pole sitter, T-Bird, has been not really struggling, but yet he is currently in second, and he's currently been in the top 5 since the green flag dropped. Pretty much another key battles that we're keeping an eye on is Masopes, as we see Riley, who is currently going down the pit road at this time with a lot of damage that he has. But as we're saying, Masopes, who has been, like Brody said, not been the one with his road courses skills, but he's actually doing it. He's actually showing it here tonight as he's battling with Surfside Tech for 3rd place.
And even further on back, I'm watching the colleague guys. Always Eric and Killer. They're starting to make their way back up through the field. They just got around Phase Electric, so they're sitting 5th and 6th right now.
And of course, definitely want to send a shout out to both Phase Electric and Nobes on helping me out with the broadcast. I ended up having a really bad storm hitting here, and they definitely took care of my situation really good. So shout out to both Phase Electric and Nobes on last night. As we see Mr. Yohan moving right behind Eric and Killer. Yeah. Even though he's not in the playoffs, I mean, he can still be able to make an impact for himself and, of course, Heredia and the rest of the team. Go ahead and get back up to
Sir,
the front.
sad, the closest he's been, Masopes, throughout this run here, trying to gain some more ground on him. He had a really good section through the S's, making up some time on Masopes as he dives it down into the carousel here, trying to keep touch with him. Masopes would look like a little bit of a better line here. There's quite a few different lines you could run through that carousel. A lot of drivers will try to arc that corner to be able to build a straight line exit and as much speed as possible. A lot of guys will hug that that curb down there, trying to stay off of somebody if they're side by side with them. Just all depends on what kind of corner that you're running here. These guys are staying pretty even as far as distance goes. Really good battle shaping up right here. You see Riley giving way to these guys after he just got off a pit road. He's just waiting for the stage break to commence and try to get back into contention here. I'm really impressed with Speed Racer here. I mean, just the job that he's done leading this race, knowing just how quick T-Bird is at these road courses, and he's not letting that pressure get to him. He's kept the same gap between him and T-Bird over the course of the last 4 laps, not letting T-Bird catch up to him.
And of course,
Sack with a move.
Let's go back to Sack.
Oh, he's right there.
Here he comes.
Ooh, to the inside, broke it down nicely. I thought he was going to overdrive that corner a little bit. He is putting major pressure on that 20 car right now.
Yep.
I mean, if you're Masopes, you definitely can't afford to just give it up right now and play it smart on road courses. You've got to try to hold your ground, and especially in these playoffs, every single point is critical. But they got to get going. That 11 car is coming in a hurry. Oh, Masopes in the wall again. Sursat to the inside. He got the run that time. Like I said, that 11 car is on the move. That was stationed.
Yeah. And I'm not exactly sure if Masopes held off Sack, but
he did indeed hold him off from my vantage point there. So, that was a dogfight for 3rd place. Good job to Masopes by holding on. He did have a little bit of right front damage, so I'm not entirely sure if that was affecting the handling of his car at all. But now a good opportunity for him to fix that damage, come in, and maybe pick up a little bit more speed. But the man of the show so far, Speed Racer. As y'all mentioned, led the most laps, and he's looking fantastic so far.
Of course, Speed Racer, who is pretty much not only gets a chance to win both Stage 1, but now Stage 2. I mean, for someone who just lost the point setter, he is doing really good. So, I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due if you're a Speed Racer fan. And, of course, he's looking really good.
Without a doubt. Now it's crunch time. Stage 3. T-Bird lost several spots there. Wow. He is back to 5th place, technically. But he's on that outside row. Sir Sadsag up to 2nd. Masopes dropped back all the way to 7th. We got some players up here now, boys.
And of course,
dive it down in there.
And look who that is. That is Sir Satsack.
Look at the 36 car up to second place. What a move.
What a
he
move.
made up 3 spots in 1 corner.
Mr. Young Buck himself, Phase Electric, currently in the top 5, while Speed Racer is in the lead. What a move by the Young Buck himself.
What a gutsy move down the turn.
Riley got put to the wall.
Oh, there's a cut. You got to be careful with those guys. I tell you what, that 36 is on the move. He went from 5th to 2nd on that restart, and he's right there with Speed Racer. And 11 car's right there as well.
I was saying, look who's right behind him. Of course,
look at this on the outside.
Oh my gosh!
Gonna cross
he's
it back
got the
over.
crossover. What a move! That was really smart. Oh, he couldn't quite get there, but man, that was a heads-up move if he could have gotten there. Gives the 8 a little bit of breathing room here.
Mr. Wyo hand moving is finding his
buddy.
Oh,
Masopes on the 19 in the wall. Ball stick in the wall. That's a major front end damage. Finally gets it going.
A fan must have distracted him with a hot dog and pretty much said, give me that hot dog, and pretty much strode straight to the wall. Oh, but look at Satsack here between Killers, Riley and Sir Satsack.
Oh, that snipe through the bus stop. You're not supposed to be able to go too wide. Oh, Sat's in the wall.
Oh, more contact.
More contact with Kelvin.
But look, and as we get back into the front, look who's in 3rd, y'all. It is Mr. T-Bird. He is not giving up yet.
I tell you what, Riley is on a mission right now. He started dead last on that restart due to getting the lucky dog. He's already up to 6th place. Taking no prisoners right now. He's got a fast car. Watch for him. But as you mentioned, that 9 car back to 3rd.
Speed Racer coming up in the lead. Brody, what are you seeing out there, buddy?
I just been watching this 9 car move his way methodically up through the field up to 2nd. He's waiting on a move on the 11 car right now, but yeah, as you were saying, T-Bird all the way back up into 3rd place.
Ooh, that 11 car had a really good butt stop there, and he got right to the bumper of the 8 car. Looking for some daylight. Pretty much held that ground.
It can't be like a Rascal Flatts song praying for daylight, because right now you got to be able to make that daylight shine now if you're always Eric.
Oh, a little bit of an overdrive by the 11 allows the 9 to get right there.
Gonna have a good launch out of this corner though.
You know the 9's gonna have to be able to use the bumper if he wants to be able to make it to 2nd place.
Eric drives it one in there.
Using every inch of the track. We got a little loose. Good save. Here comes the 9.
And he made
contact
with the 9.
Oh, they're going wide on each other.
And he's making contact.
11's going to give it to him. The 9 to 2nd. That's a lot of ground you got to make up, though.
And if anything, that's going to let Speed Racer pull away once again, and that can give him the win.
I mean, you still have a pit stop to work with here, but any little advantage you have right now is going to come in handy when you get ready to make these green flag pit stops, if that ends up being the case.
And of course, you know, something that I just a chance to really talk to is our comment section. If you guys are currently watching us live, let us know what you think about this race. And of course, you know, we're seeing the dominant performance from Speed Racer, but also a big story is T-Bird, who's pretty much went from the back up to the front, but this time he's going to have to be able to gain some sort of ground on his teammate in Speed Racing.
He has such an interesting one. I mean, he doesn't even try to make the apex. He just drives it on in there, gasses it up, and then lets the car kind of settle and gasses it right back up. It's so interesting to watch, but he actually makes a really good line out of it.
He's definitely doing. He's definitely really making some interesting moves. Actually, really good point there, Bernie. But if I was T-Bird, and I've been keeping an eye on my teammate, especially for as long as he has. I mean, whichever move that Speed does wrong, you have to be able to execute it and gain some sort of ground.
Yeah, and this has been the story of the race. T-Bird chasing his teammate Speed. Speed's just no errors. I mean, that's why he's out front. He's led the most laps. But I do think T-Bird has the fastest car.
It's all about getting there, and that's the thing is when you're running second, you're trying to find every little bit of speed to be able to catch that leader. The job of the leader is just to stay consistent, kind of gauge what the guys behind you are doing. When you're in second, basically you have nothing to lose at that point. I mean, if you're going to run the leader down, you'll get there. If you don't, then basically at that point, you just got to be consistent. That's the main storyline tonight, and that's what Speed Racer has done. He's done everything he's needed to do to hold on to that lead. T-Bird is closing in a little bit, but getting to him is one thing. Making a pass is a completely different story.
Of course, I'm going to go ahead and check through the rest of the field right now while they're still currently our top three remains the same. Of course, let's go ahead and get to Soaps. With Soaps currently up in fourth. Riley, who got his lap back, I believe, currently up in the top five. As we see, SS Assassin, who drastically needs points pretty bad, especially since he's been last in the chase. Face Electric has a DNF. Ballstick still got some damage. A lot of damage. As JC sees Jason Cole getting ready to pass him. Third sack along with, can't really say if that's Assassin, but of course Calvin and the rest of the crew. So, but back to the front, T-Bird, like you said, 4-Sharp is slowly gaining on speed.
And this is about the closest he's been all night long, and if he just keeps on doing what he has to do, he'll get that opportunity. I mean, he closes right up to that back bumper. Oh, Speed missed his corner just a little bit. Oh, he got a nice launch off. Wow, what a recovery.
But T-Bird is there.
Oh, he most certainly is. T-Bird lays off just a little bit here. That is a teammate, so, I mean, the last thing you want to do is run over your teammate to be able to get the win. I mean, these guys are ultra competitive over here. There's a look.
Here he comes.
Yep, he set him up perfectly.
Side by side they go, going into turn one. That's going to be T-Birds.
Oh, they do a great job of keeping it off each other. What a run by Speed on the outside.
Wow.
That's impressive. That is very impressive. That could be difficult to go side by side with somebody in turn one, and Speed just pulled off a great move to hold the lead. But good job by T-Bird also not getting ambitious and overdriving that corner. Saves both drivers here and allows them to try to set them up again.
Everything's been really good, especially if you are T-Bird. As you're finally making some sort of ground, but the question is, how long is too long? Especially if you're going to be staying in second place and watching your teammate win. I mean, it comes to a time where you can be able to get a chance to have a win, or you get a chance to see your teammate pretty much take over the points after the day.
Yeah, I'm noticing that right there, that Speed is overdriving 6 just a little bit. He's allowing his car to get past the curves just a little bit here. And what T-Bird is doing is that he's underdrive. Oh, T-Bird!
Oh, T-Bird!
I think he hit the grass.
Yeah, that was a case of braking a little bit too soon, not to run the teammate over, and that takes you out of rhythm. You're used to maybe charging a corner or something. When you back down a little bit, that could really throw your car off. Great job of him saving that. But going back to that point is that, when you're running second a lot of times, if you've caught somebody, a lot of times it might take you out of rhythm if you want to underdrive a corner to try to set up a crossover or make a run on them to be able to set them up for the next corner. And what happened there is that T-Bird obviously, slowed down a lot sooner than what he had been doing throughout most of the race, upset the balance of the car. but recovers, and now, I mean, he's right there. I mean, at this point now, it seems like he's kind of content to ride a little bit, unless he absolutely has the perfect corner.
T-Bird seems like he's got the oh.
He's
On the
getting to the
outside?
outside.
Wow.
And T-Bird,
He's gonna clear him.
He's going to, and he's finally gonna get a chance to take the lead away from Speed.
There it is.
Beautiful, beautiful.
What a drive off of one as well.
And Eric is coming back into the mix.
Yeah, I was about to say, Eric has snuck back up on these guys while they were fighting. But now that T-Bird's got the clean air and nobody in front of him, are we about to see some of the fastest laps of the race? Because road courses are the few tracks on the schedule where older tires are actually better.
A very good point right there. I mean, we'll definitely have to see, but you know, we're seeing always Eric. He is slowly getting some momentum. He's trying to be able to push his car up to Speed Racer. So a really good run from him. And now that T-Bird is in the front, like you said, Forsharp, he gets a chance to pull away like Speed has throughout this entire race. So only one could hope that if things go T-Bird's way, he could be able to come home with the win.
Possibility. Riley just came off a pit road, so
Here comes the leaders.
Yep.
Great entries by all of them.
Wow. Eric right there with Speed Racer. I mean, these guys are going to be all on top of a blanket right here. So what I'm noticing here, it looks like that the 8 car has some pretty good early to mid run speed, and the 9 car really is firing off great toward the end of the run here. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out, depending on pit stops. I don't believe any of these cars have damage, so we're going to have to see how they file out of pit road. Soap's killer on pit road.
Definitely been some key battles. I don't know who's currently the leader, but T-Bird is gonna get out first, then Speed, then Eric, and then of course the Soaps and Killer.
Yeah.
Right behind him.
I tell you what, that early pit stop was big dividend if T-Bird is the leader. Riley right there in 4th place. He made up a ton of ground on those guys with the pit stop. And Riley showed early in the run, even with the traffic, he was able to work himself through the field, get himself up to the top 5, and now here in 4th. If they have, 9 or 10 to go here, you know, one mistake could really change the outcome of this race. And I mean, Riley's in a good spot here. I mean, he's got some ground still to make up here, but as we mentioned, you know, if these guys get overly ambitious, you know, one miscue could get Riley into the conversation.
Definitely something that we got to keep an eye on, especially if you are T-Bird. And think, you know, he could be the leader right now. We don't really know for sure because we don't have a lap counter. But we're going to go ahead and assume that anyway. So T-Bird is going to try his best to be able to work his way to see what he can do.
It'd just be a dash to the finish now.
Yeah, who is going to hang on the best? Who's going to keep the mistakes to a minimum? We haven't seen many out of these guys while racing around each other, so. T-Bird with a healthy lead here. This is where you can kind of conserve your equipment a little bit here.
Of course, T-Bird's pretty much going to have to be able to stay focused, throw away that mirror, see what you do. As we see Ballstick currently down the pit road, probably going to be fixing a lot of that damage.
T-Bird is the confirmed leader. Oh, sorry. And he is just running away from Speed at this point. As you were saying, though, Riley is coming.
we'll see. Yeah, Riley is right there, right behind Eric. So I mean, oh, that was a really, really bad bus stop.
Yeah, he got a little bit too far to the left there. I mean, Riley's one of the best drivers in the league here. That's not something you typically see out of him. So, I'm not entirely sure what the admins are discussing here. They might get a mulligan, for the first one or a few. Obviously we've seen grass fly where they're getting the lefts on there. He's trying to make up ground. He's not trying, to cut the bus stop that bad. So that'd be a case of where they might review it and say, well, if that was the one time in the race, that might be something where you get a warning or something. I don't think they're intentionally looking to pick off drivers, but if it's a constant thing, that's a different story. But everybody's been running very smooth tonight. Riley has consistently been running these guys down. He has a chance to potentially get to Eric here in the next lap or two if he keeps on doing what he's doing. I mean, just like Brody said, T-Bird has set sail. He's just in another zip code at the moment here. He's clearly showing why he was probably the sentimental favorite coming into this race. I mean, Speed Racer did a great job leading the most laps here, but once T-Bird finally got back to the front, I think he was able to flex his muscles a little bit and just really pull away from these guys.
And one thing is for sure, though, is that even though T-Bird is leading, I mean, you can't deny the performance that Speed Racer has. And, of course, it could be a really good points day for Speed Racer. I mean, it's something that he desperately needs, and I definitely think that he's definitely enjoying his performance tonight. As we see, T-Bird currently in the lead right now. Definitely been a very great performance when we've seen him in the back, working his way up to the front a couple of times here in this race, and with nobody in front of him, not even nobody behind him. He's got to be able just to keep hitting his marks, and then he'll end up coming home with a win. And of course, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we will get a chance to, if we have enough time, we will get a chance to interview our top three. And also, don't forget, coming up next is our coverage of the Cup Series. Thankfully, I found someone in T-Bird that's going to be joining me here tonight for the Cup Series race at Watkins Glen. So make sure you guys stay tuned on the YouTube channel. Cup action race coming up next, following our coverage here in the Xfinity Series race. Sorry, it's definitely been a long day.
T-Bird is just checked out.
Yeah.
I
tell you what, I feel like he's running a little more conservatively. Speed has made just a little bit of ground over those past two corners, but that's more or less just, look, I'm not trying to make a mistake right now. I'm just trying to hit my marks over here. There's no need to press it right now. Obviously, you want to control that gap. If you feel like he's getting a little bit too close, and he can pick that pace up. He knows he has that in his reserve.
Oh, Speed actually hit the inside wall.
Oh!
No!
And that gives him a course penalty.
Oh! Wow.
He's going to be all the way back into 5th place right now.
The killer. Look at this move, though.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. What a shame. What a shame for Speed Racer. As we're right along with Killer, and Killer is going to give Speed the bumper.
Yeah, Speed with a little left front damage right here. I'm not, it doesn't look like it's that major. I don't know if that's going to slow him down at all. I don't think he got engine damage from that, so it'll just be more or less an aerodynamic handling situation here. If he's still able to rotate well, I mean, that would have been Killer's one shot right there to potentially make a move on him if Speed continues hitting his marks here. But man, what a shame. Led the most laps here.
Oh, Jesus.
Riley's looking for second right here. Fighting very hard. Oh, a little door tapping right here.
Oh, the 11's not going to appreciate that.
He's not going to be happy about that one. I mean, Riley has methodically chased these guys down, and he was getting to the 11. But that's a very, very risky spot to make a pass in the carousel, just knowing how tight it could be. And looked like he got in there just a little bit hot.
And of course,
Eric's going to do everything he can to try to get back to him there.
And of course, Eric slowly chasing down Riley after Riley with that door tap. Of course, T-Bird, nobody in his sights, nobody in mind. He lapped Assassin. Definitely been a great race. But also, the story here is with that man, Speed Racer, dominating race, dominating performance. Ends up getting a course penalty, drops down to pretty much to fourth, I believe. And top 5 is looking to be T-Bird, Eric, Riley, Speed Racer. Yeah. Sorry about that. T-Bird, Riley, Eric, Speed Racer, Miss Hopes, and Killer. Sorry, mine's blank.
Yeah, he was able to get back by Masso's there, but that's going to be a bitter pill for Speed Racer to swallow, knowing just how well he ran that night. And it's hard to watch that, as a competitor. You feel for these drivers that have been having a great all-around race. They've been up front, led laps, had, a chance to get the win. Oh, Riley and Eric going at it again.
Oh, boy.
Eric actually got back to him and looked like he was trying to give him a bump and run there, just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, this is definitely where
he doesn't have too many more chances here. I mean, we're running out of laps here. I mean, they're not going to catch T-Bird, but, the fight for second is on. Eric is not going to back down from a challenge here. When he feels like he's been wronged a little bit, he's going to get up on that wheel and he's going to start driving the heck out of that car. And you can see Riley blocking the inside here, coming into the bus stop.
And of course, to answer your question,
Riley got just a bit loose but recovered. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll say to answer JoJo's question, Speed has led the most laps in this race, but it is T-Bird in the lead, and of course, Riley in second. We're watching the battle for second place while T-Bird's been pulling away, and it's definitely getting really tense. I mean, Eric's not letting. Oh, Assassin! Oh, but Riley with a bold move.
Oh, that might have been this might have been the last lap. I'm not sure.
Something must have happened here. I'm gonna.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
And yet,
T-Bird, the race winner, he finally gets it done. What a dominant stage 3 for the driver of that 9 car. What a battle for second.
T-Bird with the race winner, and of course Eric is not really happy with Riley right there. So Riley takes home second, Eric takes home third. If we have enough time, we could be able to get a chance to talk to all three, which we should. This could be a very interesting interviews, especially with what went down between Eric and Riley.
I think it's just classic road course racing here. Sometimes not a lot of room, and this late in the race, you want all to take right there, and this is playoff time. I mean, points are up for grabs at that point with others making some unforced errors, and Riley. I mean, if obviously extremely impressive drive out of T-Bird tonight, the race winner. He gets the reward for that, but close runner-up is Riley. I mean, considering he went a lap down with all that damage, restarted last, and finishes runner-up, that there is probably the most impressive feature tonight.
All right. Can we get T-Bird, Eric, and Riley to the booth?
Yep.
Always Eric. And let's see here.
Soap's not really happy with Speed right now. And I quote, he actually said this. He goes, I hope you know there's still 3 races left.
And T-Bird with the fastest lap of a 1:08.2.
That's pretty fast.
Riley was a very close second. He was only a couple hundredths off, as we have always Eric joining the booth. There's T-Bird.
Race winner T-Bird.
Race winner.
All right. First of all, definitely do want to welcome in you two. I don't know if Riley will be joining us, but T-Bird, you finally got a win.
Yeah, we did, man. Woo!
Oh man, how do you feel right now? I mean, definitely been a very eventful race. I mean, you pretty much went from the back to the front a couple of times here. I mean, take us through your race, man.
Um, Definitely was lacking a bit of consistency at the first bit. I had a couple of times where I just made dumb mistakes in some corners and got a bit of damage, so that's what was forcing me back a few cars into the pack off the restart. So, but last stage we cleaned it all up. Made a real nice pass on speed coming to the pit stop there, and then he had issues towards the end of the race with the bus stop, and we were just able to drive off afterwards.
Yeah.
But that 9 car was a freaking rocket ship tonight, man. That was awesome.
Definitely a very awesome win for sure, and I cannot wait to get a chance to talk to you about this in that Cup Series broadcast coming up next.
Hell yeah.
Riley, you got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Riley, what a race that you had. I mean, you seemed to have been struggling. I think you was a lap down at one point, and of course you had a beaten banging battle with Always Eric. I mean, take us through your race and talk about that battle that you had, and pretty much what happened on the final lap of the race.
Well, stages 1 and 2 didn't go too well. I hit the glitch in both stages, so then I got a lap down into stage 2. But then on the last lap, I was just trying to make sure he didn't get by me because I felt like he was probably going to send me unless I did something you wouldn't think of.
Always Eric, you got a copy, bud.
Yes, I do.
Eric, you pretty much started off in the top, in the top three, I believe. You pretty much stayed there throughout the entire race. You end up having some setbacks, but I want to get a chance to talk about this comment that you made right before the race. And I quote, you said that you never put a JRM driver to the wall, but it seemed like you had a really huge battle with Riley, to where I don't know if you went to the wall, and of course he went to the wall. Take us through your battle with Riley at the end there.
It was a fun battle. I didn't realize how slow I was until I looked in my mirror and I saw Riley behind me. That whole last like 5 laps was terrible for me. I thought I would be with the top 2 more after the pit stop, but that obviously wasn't the case.
And of course, you know, as I talked about it in the previous show, I mean, you was one of the drivers that desperately needed points. Talk about, you know, how much points you've gained after this race, and talk about, you know, especially since you stayed up in the top 5 the entire race.
Yeah, like after I wrecked into the wall under caution, which I'll explain that real quick. That was me just trying to plug up my charger for my phone, and that's why I wrecked. But that damage really hurt me. I got 4th in the first stage, which was okay in points, and then I had 6 seconds of damage to repair under caution, which made me lose 8 spots. So, and I also had to battle with a non-playoff driver, of course, because what do you expect there?
Yeah.
It,
Well,
yeah.
I was gonna say, Sharp, Brody, you guys got any questions for our top 3?
Yeah, I'll start with T-Bird first and foremost, buddy. Congratulations on getting the win. I know you've been close quite a few times, and I mean, we talked about it in the pre-race show just how much speed you've shown at each and every one of the road courses you've run so far. You know, obviously, maybe the first 2 stages didn't go according to plan, but then there you were right there at the end, methodically worked yourself back from what it was, 5th or 7th on the restart, got up to the lead, and then, you know, you were able to kind of settle into a rhythm and made the move and were able to drive away. So go through the emotions there. You know, how does that set you up for the remaining 3 races of this chase?
I think we have a chance to win the whole thing. I mean, not trying to be like cocky or anything, but I mean, I like the tracks that are coming up for the rest of the season, and the one's going to be huge momentum for sure for the 9 car in that team for the rest of the season.
Absolutely, yeah, great run indeed for you, and congrats once again on getting that win. I know that one's been a long time coming for you there, so good job there. Riley, you know, going back, you know, watching you progress for the field, I mean, you've shown throughout the seasons just how well-rounded of a driver you can be, not only on intermediates, plate, short tracks, there it is at the road course. I mean, from a lap down in stage one, and basically drove all the way nearly. Maybe if you would have had some more time and a little bit better track position, you think he possibly could have been a factor a little bit later on in the race?
I might could have got behind him, but I don't think I would have been able to pass him.
I mean, regardless, still, that's a fantastic drive. I mean, that there, you know, do you feel like that possibly salvages your season? You know, I mean, it could have been a whole lot worse for you there coming into tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was going to be uphill if I did not have a good finish, but the next few tracks are going to be really good for me.
Yeah, there you go. Very solid rebound for you. Congrats on that second. And then, always Eric, I mean, you know, solid race all around for you, just like Jake was saying. I mean, top 5 all race long there, and you had a very good battle with Riley there. You know, classic, of course, a little beating banging, some bumpers being given there, but, you know, no harm, no foul to either one of you guys. A third place, nothing to complain about for you. So, with these last few tracks on board here, you know, what's your mindset going into those final few races?
I'm looking forward to Homestead. Bristol is an okay track for me. I don't know if I'll be able to contend in the top 5. I hope I can for the points. Las Vegas, I'm usually good there. It's usually the night races where I suck. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a night race, correct?
I do believe so. But, hey, look, I mean, anything can happen for you, brother. So, you know.
Definitely do wish you the best of luck on that one. Riley, your thoughts on pretty much Homestead, where we're headed to next week?
That should be a pretty good one for me, I'd say. Yeah.
And of course, T-Bird, your thoughts on Homestead?
I think Homestead will be very interesting. Draft's definitely going to play a factor. You have the outside lane working for you there. It'll be I generally like racing there, especially in these cars. These cars you could really like handle it around and do what you want with the car. So race for sure.
Alrighty, we'll let you guys go, and once again, T-Bird, congratulations on the win, man.
Thanks, man.
All right, and let's go ahead and get to our both Brody and Sharp. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow. Brody, we saw a fantastic race, dominating performance from Speed, but at the end it was T-Bird, and we talk about how much of a good points day that Speed had.
Oh yeah, Speed, put himself in a hole last week, but it seems like he will be dug up out of that hole. I'm assuming T-Bird will go to the points lead now. Riley shouldn't be that far behind, so definitely a really great race that we saw tonight. A lot of comers and goers, but T-Bird definitely had the fastest car.
Oh, definitely for sure. And of course, once again, Sharp, your thoughts on what we saw tonight.
Oh, I mean, great racing all around there. I mean, you saw Speed Racer have himself a heck of a race there. I mean, fourth is nothing to be ashamed of at the end of the day, regardless. It's unfortunate, but, he showed that he could be up front. I mean, he got both stages, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Much.
So, I mean, massive points day for Speed Racer there. He was a little bit behind, but, I mean, that coupled with a fourth place finish is big for him. He can move on to the next couple races, and he knows he still has a fighting shot. He's showing the guys that he can run up front. T-Bird, what a recovery for him. Great on him to finally get that first win. Now that he's got that monkey off his back, he doesn't have that pressure anymore of having to search for a win. I feel like he's gonna be the favorite over the remaining races, but don't count out Riley, and I also am not gonna count out always Eric as well. They were up front all night long. They're going to be right there in the mix. Miss Soaps is going to be there as well. So still a lot of big names out there that could potentially take home this title.
Well, very well said. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for our coverage here for the Xfinity Series. Don't forget, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe on this video. And don't forget, as far as the schedule-wise, coming up next, it is our Cup Series coverage at Watkins Glen. But as far as the Xfinity Series, they'll be back next week, next Thursday at 7:20 Eastern Time, live from Homestead Speedway. And ladies and gentlemen, I am Code Red Dude. That is Brody and of course Sharp. We will see you guys next week at Homestead. But until then, we'll see you guys later.